address them here on the show. You can also find us on social media. Facebook's pretty easy, at Todd Tramonte, or we've got a show page there, at Texas Real Estate with Todd Tramonte. And you can typically track us down on Twitter or Instagram and a bunch of other places as well.
So many options.
So many options. One more for you. YouTube is a great place where just about every past show we've ever done is going to be out there on YouTube. You can find us at tthst.tv. TTHST is short for Todd Tramonte Home Selling Team. tthst.tv. And you can see video as well as audio from past radio shows. So if there's a question that you would like answered during the week when we're not on air, it may have been answered on a past show, and those videos are cut with one question, one answer. So it's almost like a library. You can go straight to the question that would be helpful for you and get our insight. And then finally, before we jump into your questions today, anytime you have a question or a concern about real estate, you can just find us online, or you can text us or call us at 214-310-0008. 214-310-0008. Just save that in your cell phone, and you can call or text anytime, day or night. We're not going to answer it at the wee hours, but we'll respond to your voicemail or your text the following day. 214-310-0008. You are listening to Texas Real Estate with Todd Tramonte. And we've got the one and only Jan Daniels, the English wonder. We always have to ask this question now. How English are you going to play it today?
Yeah, top of the weekend, Suya Todd.
Okay.
Very English again. I'm just feeling it. We've had a lot of rain this week. A little bit chilly. Had to wrap the kids up for school, and I even asked my son one day this past week. I said, "Are you feeling English today?" And he said, "I am feeling full-on English."
At that point, did he proceed out the front door or to the garage?
Out of the garage, into the car.
Quick translation, English to English, folks. Garage is garage. Garage is garage. We also have producer Mason Goss behind the controls today, running video and audio. Welcome, Mason. Still doesn't have a microphone.
Solid.
No response. That's rough. We are planning to get him a new microphone as we move into our new studios, but we're not quite there yet. So for now, we'll just take questions.
All right, here we go. This was a situation that came up on our team this past week. I think it's a question that a lot of people will have. Mm-hmm. When you're selling your home, or as a buyer, you're buying a home, mm-hmm. and the people that were in the home have not moved out by the time closing happens, right. Something unforeseen happened. Mm-hmm. How do you go about resolving that?
So it's a tricky situation, and for most people listening, hopefully this has never happened to you, but you should always protect against this happening to you. Now, sometimes it's unavoidable, and that's kind of the situation we were asked about this week. And in a scenario where that happens, there are established solutions. And one of them is referred to as a temporary lease, right? So there's a buyer's temporary lease and there's a seller's temporary lease. And these are standard real estate documents here in the state of Texas. They're what we call promulgated forms, which means, an army of attorneys has created a document that protects the consumer as well as in some ways the real estate agent, but usually the consumer a little bit more. And in a situation where you're buying a home and the seller, for whatever reason, was not able to get out in time. And sometimes it's a legitimate reason. The weather was crazy, there was ice on the streets and the movers couldn't come, or the mover's truck broke down, or who knows, the bank had a wire transfer issue or something crazy. The contract might already have in place what's called a holdover fee, meaning if that person isn't out in time, they owe you X number of dollars per day, as long as they stay beyond the contract date. Now, that's your compensation. Most of them will have a point where if that happens for too long, then there's kind of a second level where maybe you might get some attorneys involved, and that's never the preferred approach, but it can happen. And those are usually set ahead of time. If those things are not set ahead of time, because there was no arrangement that included that, then prior to closing and funding, I would have your real estate professional, if that's not us, hopefully it's someone who's full-time, expert-focused, really dedicated. Before closing and funding, before you agree to change ownership, you would write in what I was just talking about, ideally a temporary lease where now it's, okay, everybody's, whether we like it or not, everybody's understands what's happening, and there are some boundaries and some commitments being made and some consequences being mapped out if those boundaries aren't maintained or commitments aren't kept. Now, for the sake of an interesting show, we won't go into any more annoying detail on that, but there are ways to manage that. There is a reverse side of this too. It's significantly less favorable, but where a buyer could move into a house that they don't own yet before closing and funding. That would be a buyer's temporary lease. What we were just talking about is a seller's temporary lease. It's named after the person that's going to be living in the house. So a seller's temporary lease means the seller's going to, now they're not the owner anymore because it's changed hands, but they're a tenant, but they're staying. The flip side would be a buyer that's going to be a tenant right before they become the owner. If you have questions about that, call our office or text us. We'd be happy to help. 214-310-0008. By the way, if you'd rather not call us, but you have a question, feel free just to text us. 214-310-0008, or you can always find us online at overunderagent.com. That's because we guarantee to sell any home over the average price and under the average time. Right now, we're averaging about 7.6% over the average price. For our company, our average is right around $300,000. So that means our typical client is making an extra $22,000, $23,000, $24,000 extra, $20,000+ that they would not have made with a traditional real estate approach, or doing it by themselves. They probably would have made even less. And then we're averaging about 3 times faster than the market average. The market average is different, sales time, in different parts of town. So some areas right now are over 50 days, and in those areas we're averaging 17, 18, 19 days. In some areas it's more like 30 days, and in those areas we're averaging 8 or 9 days. There's parts of town where we're averaging less than a week still. So all that to say, we're averaging way over the average price and under the average time, so you can find us online at overunderagent.com. For the sake of time, this segment has been brought to you by Patrick Glaros and his crew over at Cardinal Financial. You can always find them online at patrickglaros.com, Glaros. In short, anything mortgage that comes up, reach out to Patrick Glaros. That's literally what I do, and most of our team members and thousands of our agents, of our real estate clients, our buyer and seller clients over the last 17 years. Thousands of them have reached out to Patrick. PatrickGlaros.com, Glaros, PatrickGlaros.com.
Had a question this past week, Todd. It's a question that comes up relatively often, but they tried to sell their home last year and it just didn't happen for them. It just didn't go through. The question is this year going to be any better? Okay,
so let me say this. Let me try to answer this 2 ways. I do this a lot, and I hope it's not annoying to our listeners. I actually get really good feedback on it. Let me answer it kind of the short, concise, simple way, and then let me tell you what I think this question is looking for and answer that.
Perfect.
Number one, I think this year will be just about the same as last year for a seller. It might be a fraction of a fraction less exciting, but I think homes will sell for more this year than they did last year. So if you're following me, what I mean is kind of the pace and energy and excitement of the market for a seller might be super optimistic, but a tiny bit less optimistic than last year. But that home is probably going to sell for more than last year. So depending on how you look at it, it's going to be a great year to sell. Now, a slightly more in-depth thought would be the person who tried to sell last year and failed to sell, something was wrong. Last year was a wonderful year to sell a house in, especially if you had a great real estate agent. So either it was in really bad condition, it was priced or marketed really, really poorly, and then ultimately most of those things would be the responsibility of the real estate agent. So the other thing would be that you didn't have a great agent. So other than the condition of the home, the pricing and the marketing should be something that was led and directed by a really great real estate agent / consultant, right? Now that's what we do here at the Todd Tramonte Home Selling Team. I am biased. I believe that's how real estate should be done. I think agents and brokers should operate like a CPA or an attorney or a doctor, and our clients ought to be able to trust us at that level. So if you tried to sell a house in 2019 and it failed to sell, one of those 3 things was not good. The condition of the home, the price of the home, or the marketing of the home. If the condition was poor and price and marketing didn't account for it, I would still put that on the agent, because that agent probably should not have taken that listing if they didn't have a good plan to overcome that, or they should have told that seller, this is not realistic, it's not even worth trying. So all that to say, whoever asked this question, I think a really great real estate agent would solve that problem. Now, of course, I'm going to say that. I'm a real estate broker, but what I'm telling this homeowner is, if you have a great agent, this problem can be solved. And it can definitely be solved in 2020, at least as well as it could have been in 2019. If you're looking for a great agent and you don't have someone you really believe is full-time, fully dedicated to expertise and delivering world-class results, of course, we'd love to get a phone call from you. 214-310-0008 for the Todd Tramonte Home Selling Team. 214-310-0008. Call or text us. And then you can go online at overunderagent.com, because we guarantee to sell your home over the average price and under the average time, even if you tried before and it didn't work out. As a matter of fact, we were in the office kind of in a strategy meeting yesterday talking about how just in the last month we had 2 or 3 clients that had tried to sell with one of them was like 2 years.
Yeah,
one of them was 4 or 5 months, and then I think one of them was only like 60 days or so. But all of them had tried to sell with another agent, failed, come to us, and then sold in like, a tenth of the time, whatever. I think the one that was 2 years with someone else was 4 months with us,
Correct.
and the one was 4 months with someone else was like 10 days with us, and I can't remember the other one. But on all of them for more money than they were trying to get before. Varying amounts, but one of them was like $45,000 more. It was crazy. But all that to say, the right strategy is the difference there. The right strategy led by the right advisor. Now, I understand I'm not going to be the real estate broker for every single listener we have. So if you've already got someone that's world-class, great. Just make sure they have a customized approach and strategy for you, and it's not one size fits all, because that is never a good idea. Speaking of that, one size fits all in the roofing industry is usually not great for you. It's kind of throw a magnet on the truck anytime there's a hailstorm or high wind, and then just run out and knock everybody's door and try to sell roofs, right? That's generally a bad idea for you. You're not talking with a local expert. You're not talking with someone you can really trust. And the local expert that I trust when it comes to roofing is Stryker Roofing. They just did the roof on a new patio cover that my wife and I put on our home. Great work, in and out, super fast, really, really reliable. You can reach out to them at strykerbuilds.com, strykerbuilds.com. By the way, if you ever forget the information for one of our sponsors or anything, you can just always go to treradio.com. TRE is short for Texas Real Estate. treradio.com, and all of our recommended pros are there on the site, as well as video tabs where you can get access to previous shows, event information about where we might be doing the show or fun things we might be doing at the Todd Tramonte Home Selling Team that would benefit our radio show listeners. So we do the show for your benefit, but the expertise and the insight we gather is from running a real estate brokerage and team, the Todd Tramonte Home Selling Team at Market Experts Realty, all day, every day throughout the week. Luckily, producer Ian is also our team lead throughout the week, and so is totally dedicated to the team and has great context. And then producer Mason is shooting all sorts of video content, educational content, audio stuff, websites, and helping do some creative marketing with our events. So our radio show brings a lot of that context, and our goal is to share it with you for your benefit. So be checking out treradio.com all throughout the week to get information on Stryker Roofing or Patrick Glaros and his team for mortgage, or DP Lambert and insurance information, and all sorts of other folks. So I know we got more questions piling up. We'll take a couple.
Yeah, I'm fired up just listening to you, and I work on this. It's awesome. Come on, let's go. All right, one of the most misunderstood aspects of really real estate, I think, is the home warranty. What is it? What's the value of it? I'm going to get a brand new air conditioner for this, using home warranty. Can you give us a little bit of insight into really what a home warranty is and how it's best used?
It's such a good question, and I think I know better, but I still occasionally just assume that what we do every day, all day, everybody knows. And so there's a huge debate about home warranties, right? There are people that expect way too much out of a home warranty and are disappointed by it. And then there are people that have an appropriate expectation about home warranties, and I think most of them really, really can benefit. So let's start out by saying, what is a home warranty, right? In the Texas real estate contract with a 1 to 4 family resale agreement, there is a place in that contract for what people call a residential service contract. That is the same thing as a home warranty. Now, that is all about protecting your home from typical sort of annoying issues with the general basic major systems in your home. Plumbing, electrical, a lot of times that can include appliances. So for us, we believe it is a huge value for a first year homeowner, not necessarily first time homeowner, but for someone who's bought a home and you're in that home for the first year and you're kind of feeling it out and getting to know the house and how does the dishwasher run and why does the AC kick on the way it does, and it's a little different from the one I had last time. But I've always said it this way: if you're in your home for the first year, and I don't even care if it's a brand new house, I think it's worth it. You will sleep a little bit better at night knowing that if something happens, you don't have to go scour the earth and figure out what's wrong and what plumber should I call and what electrician. You pick up the phone and you call that same home warranty company every time, and you pay a very small trip fee. It's kind of like a copay fee at the doctor. It's a very small fraction of what the cost of that actual repair would be. It might be $55 or $65, something like that. And then they would send out a plumber or an electrician or appliance person or whatever your program, your package covers. And then they would come out and fix the problem or tell you how something works sometimes, and leave. And for that little bitty trip fee, you're covered. So you're not going to be as reluctant to call someone and let a problem get worse and worse. And you're not going to be as fearful that if something breaks, it's going to hit you and cost a ton of money. And so I believe that everyone who's in a home for the first year should have one of these. And I've had this debate with contractors and handymen that are like, no, I don't need that. I'm going to take care of this stuff myself. Well, I just believe that you're going to sleep a little bit better. So this is something that we include in the way we approach buyers buying homes. We want them to have a home warranty as part of their purchase. And we talk to our sellers about offering this to the buyers of homes that we buy. And so I think it's super, super important. So I can tell you this. On the Todd Tramonte home selling team, when we negotiate for our buyers and when we negotiate for our sellers, we guarantee that our buyers are going to get a home warranty when they buy a house. We go so far as to say, if for some reason we cannot get the seller of the house to provide that for you, we will buy you one to make sure that you have one. Now, I want to share this. In the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we love Nation's Home Warranty. We absolutely love Nation's Home Warranty. You can go check them out right now at home-warranty.com, home-warranty.com. They do a phenomenal job. They're a local company. They've got national backing with their infrastructure and their vendor network, but they're a local company, and we've got local contacts with the company, and we know them. We spend time with them, and we know that they legitimately care for our clients. And once in a while, if there's a question or a need, we're able to reach out directly to someone we know, and they are wonderful. They do a great job. So check out Nation's Home Warranty at home-warranty.com. We believe in that so strongly for our buyers that we guarantee it. And then on the selling side, we offer a home warranty to the buyer of every single one of our listings. And we also have our listings covered by a home warranty while they're on the market, so that our sellers can rest assured that their home is protected. And if an issue comes up, they just got to do that little bitty trip fee and they can be covered. So we believe these give peace of mind. Check out home-warranty.com, Nation's Home Warranty. Great question. I took a little bit more time answering it because we haven't talked about that in a while. And obviously, we think it's a big deal. We value it. We guarantee our buyers they're going to get them. We offer it to our sellers while they're on the market and to the buyers of the homes that we are marketing for sale for our sellers. So that's how we do it at the Todd Tramonte home selling team. If those types of guarantees would be a big benefit to you, then reach out to us, 214-310-0008, 214-310-0008, or you can always find us online at overunderagent.com, because we do guarantee to sell your home over the average price and under the average time. Now, there's one quick question I want to address before we go to the break, and we'll probably end up talking more about it after the break, so make sure you stay with us here. But we get 100 questions a week, whether it's from radio, YouTube, clients, people stopping by the office, coming to an open house, coming to one of our events, or TV or whatever it may be. But it's basically about the fact that sellers and buyers right now are just overwhelmed. There's so many options in the market. I know you have this on your question sheet, but I'm fired up about it, so I just pirated it. But
let's go.
I train our agents and I talk to our clients, and I always tell people a confused mind says no, right? When people are confused or overwhelmed by options, they typically do nothing. They even turn down great opportunities because they're overwhelmed, right? This is what's going on right now in the real estate market in Dallas-Fort Worth. You turn on the radio and there's 20, 30 different people telling you, I'll buy your house for cash, or I'll buy the one that you want to buy and then you can sell the one you're selling later, or I'll do it for no commission, or I'll do it for a huge commission, or I'll do it in the middle, or I'll do it by myself, or I'll do it with my team, or I'll do it with this brokerage, this new innovative thing. We'll do it with technology, or we'll do it old school. And at some point you're just like, I don't know what the smartest choice is. And number one, well done tuning into this show, because that's our goal, is to help clarify all that nonsense and help you make a wise choice. Now, I will say, at the Todd Tramonte home selling team, we, over the last several years, have really, we're always improving our business model, but moved towards cleaning up that confusion for our clients. So if you're interested in a free strategy session where you simply just sit down and say, I don't know, here's my situation, what do you think is best? We would love to do that for you. We'd be happy to do that for you at no cost, no obligation. And by the way, we can do all of those things for you. We have a flexible commission plan where we will create a customized approach for what's best for you. Or if you just want us to buy the house from you right now, we do that too. We'll get you an offer within 72 hours, and you can move out and not worry about it. And other things too. If you want to rent it out, we'll help you rent it out. We'll be back right after the break with more Texas Real Estate right here on WBAP. Welcome back to Texas Real Estate, folks. You are listening to Texas Real Estate with Todd Tramonte. We're talking all things residential real estate across the great state of Texas. When we went to the break, we were dealing with this annoying, frustrating thing that gets me a little bit on my high horse, a little bit on my soapbox, where there's just so many mixed messages in the real estate market, especially for sellers, but not just sellers, because there's a lot of confusion for buyers right now too, around how do you approach this? Do you just sell straight to somebody who's telling you that they'll give you a full price offer and you don't have to clean up and pack up, you can leave whenever you want? Or do you go with a real estate agent who charges, almost nothing? Or do you go with a solo agent or a team of agents, or a brokerage that's new, or a brokerage that's established, or a brokerage with a ton of agents, or do you go with one of these services that buys your house so you can buy another one, or buys the one you want to move to so you can sell the one? We had a nightmare story about one of those this week. But anyway, all that to say, our goal with this radio show, and then certainly at the Todd Tramonte home selling team, which is what we do all week, every week, is to alleviate fear and anxiety and confusion about those things and help you make wise decisions for you and your family and your finances. Obviously, we would love to earn your business and help you sell or buy or invest in real estate. But even if we are not your choice, you have got to find a trustworthy real estate leader. Not someone who will go open doors for you, not just someone who will do whatever you ask of them, but someone who will lead you and guide you just like a great attorney or accountant or doctor would. Now, this segment is brought to you by DP Lambert with Goosehead Insurance. Saved Ian $1,800 or so.
$1,800, yeah.
Saved my wife and I over $1,000. And we thought we were already really low because we had saved a bunch of money the last time. But we also actually increased our coverage. So DP Lambert with Goosehead Insurance, he can broker out to a bunch of different insurance carriers, I think a dozen or more. So you're going to get shopped to all the big carriers, and you're not going to miss anything, but you are going to gain a live human being who will take great care of you, right? So it's not a website. It's not someone that's part of some massive organization that won't ever take your call. DP swings by the office. We have lunch together every once in a while.
Great communicator.
Hard-working, excellent communicator that really understands the product of insurance. So when it comes time to get your insurance figured out, just shoot him an email, dp.lambert@goosehead.com. Or as always, if you forget the contact info for any of our recommended professionals, you can go to treradio.com, treradio.com, and click on Recommended Pros, and all that information is there. Our team throughout the week at Market Experts Realty and the Todd Tramonte home selling team is very committed to putting our clients with great vendors. DP is someone we believe in. Patrick Glaris is somebody we believe in at a deep level. Stryker, someone we believe in. Reinhardt Service Company, and it goes on and on and on. If anyone is on the website at treradio.com, that's because we personally trust them to do business. Stryker's been to my house recently. DP's been doing our insurance. Reinhardt Service Company came by the office this week to install some stuff in the new office, and I could probably name just about everybody else as well. So treradio.com for your resources and pros. And then, of course, if our team can help you buy, sell, or invest in real estate, give us a call or text 214-310-0008, 214-310-0008. Call or text, or find us online at overunderagent.com, because we guarantee to sell your home over the average price, and that's the key word here, and under the average time. You can sell your house over the average price today if you wait 5 years, if you wait long enough. And you can sell it under the average time if you price it low enough. But we are guaranteeing to sell your house, no matter where it is, as long as we agree to work together. And we don't agree to work with everybody. We actually tell a lot of potential sellers, no, we're not a great fit. Your expectations aren't realistic, or you're not a reasonable, you're not a kind person. I mean, we say no to a lot of people. And we also say no sometimes because we don't feel that we're the best person to help. But as long as we agree to work together, we guarantee to sell your house over the average price and under the average time. You can get more information at overunderagent.com. Now, right now, we're averaging about 7.6% over the average price. So for most of our sellers, that's an extra $20,000 to $30,000. And more, our average client is moving into the $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 price range. And as obviously that math is pretty simple, $30,000 to $40,000 or $50,000. And under the average time, though, and let's just suffice it to say across the marketplace, we're selling homes in about 1/3 of the average time on market. But let's get back to kind of that main point of the question. And then I know you had a couple questions over there if you want to clarify some of the specifics of those around just the confusion that is in the marketplace that we desperately are committed to helping clear up for people.
Yeah, let's dig in. We'll do both sides, but let's dig in on the sell side first. Question that I get asked multiple times a week is when it comes to discount people, 1% people,
right,
does it make sense to use that type of service if it's going to save them money? Like, that's the key, is like
right,
that save money piece.
So here's the thing. Of course I'm biased because we work the real estate business one way. But let me be very clear about why I believe I can answer this question with little to no bias, right? For 5 years, I owned and operated a franchise where our model was, quote, discount real estate, end quote. Now, the reason I put that in quotes is because there is no set commission. All commissions are negotiable. They are not set by law. Any real estate agent that tells you they have one fee every single time is not a great real estate agent. Now, they might be a wonderful person. They might work really hard. They might have some good systems, but that's not reasonable. Attorneys don't do that. They bill by the hour. Doctors, depending on how many times you need to visit them or what surgery you need or what medication you need, patients have different costs involved, right? An accountant might bill by the hour or by the project, but no two people's projects are exactly the same. Yet real estate agents for 3 or 4 or 5 generations now have been saying, oh, that's my fee. I could be an agent who's been on the job for 10 minutes or 10 years, and the consumer's supposed to just agree that those people are worth the same exact amount of money, their expertise is the same, and their results are going to be the same. That's stupid. That makes no sense at all. So, to answer this question,
Preach.
when it comes to someone who says, hey, my buddy's going to do it for this fee, or my mom's going to do it for this, or I saw a website, or I heard a radio ad where they'll do it for this, first of all, I would say, look, what are they going to do for that? Have they told you exactly what they can do for you? Did they have a fully developed marketing plan? You know, if it were us, I'd say, do they have a 7-step proprietary plan to market your home for way over the average price and under the average time? Or if it was one of our buyers, are they guaranteeing to save you at least $5,000 throughout your purchase process? Is it just one person, or is there a team of people that are going to walk through this with you? Are there experts in every single area of the transaction? Or is this person charging less because they do less, they offer less, they bring less to the table? They are one person trying to juggle, you know, staging, photography, pre-inspection, valuation, inspections, addenda, amendments, courier scans, faxes, emails, all the legal, all the, you know, precision, all the valuation. I mean, this is not something that one person can be a world-class expert at. And that's why I compare it to legal, accounting, and medical. You go to the dentist office. Does the dentist herself come out and sign your insurance paperwork or greet you at the door? No. There's a specialist that does intake. Then there's someone who works with the insurance company. Then there's a hygienist. Then there's a dentist. Then somewhere else there's a cosmetic dentist. And then there's a dental surgeon. And then look at legal. Some people do commercial. Some people do civil. Some people do criminal. Some people do paralegal work. Some people do litigation. Some people do paperwork and research. And why would people believe that real estate agents can do all that by themselves? There is an answer. Because that's what real estate agents have been telling buyers and sellers and investors for the past 80, 90, 100 plus years. And it's not in the best interest of the buyer or the seller or the client. That's what I believe. If you're listening to me right now and you think I'm full of bull, that's okay. We probably aren't the right company to help you buy and sell. But if you're the kind of person that thinks, you know, I don't know everything. I watched HGTV last night, but I'm not a real estate expert. Cheaper is not always better. Then we could be a great fit at the Todd Tramonte home selling team or at Market Experts Realty. And you could call us at 214-310-0008. You could also text us at 214-310-0008. Or you could find us online at overunderagent.com, because we guarantee to sell your home over the average price and under the average time. We're averaging about 7.6% over the average price and about 1/3 of the average time on market. And we do that not by being the cheapest, not by being a single person working out of the house or the back seat of the car, but by approaching this like a real professional services business, like an attorney or a doctor or an accountant would, and hopefully even better, and by not apologizing for not being the cheapest or not running out to your house whenever you're ready because there's nothing else on our calendar. But sadly, that's the way the real estate industry has been done for a long time. And I am warning you that it is not in your best interest as a buyer or seller. Let's just say 98% of the time. There's always exceptions to every rule. And if this sounds obnoxious to you, then with all due respect, you've got plenty of options. But if you're annoyed by the confusion and the frustration of all those options and you're looking for an expert, man, would we love to help you out. We would love to show you what we do. By the way, this is why we also run a coaching and consulting business for real estate agents all over North America, United States and Canada. And we help agents have the same passion and energy and fire that I do, so that real estate consumers can get a better option, and so that real estate agents can be really, really proud of what they do. Now, was that a long enough answer to your question?
Love it. Let's get fired up. Love getting Todd fired up.
Ian's just laughing behind the mic because he knew when he said that it was going to get me going.
So great. All right, I got a bunch of questions that we want to get to this show, so let's go a little bit kind of speed round.
I hear the undertones there.
Speed round. I think one of the areas of confusion that people have is people will say it's a great time to sell a house, it's a seller's market. Great time to buy a house, it's a buyer's market. can it be both? Like, can people really do both? Give us your
Short
thoughts
answer,
on that.
no. Statistically speaking, it is either a seller's market or a buyer's market. We define that by the amount of inventory. There's plenty of other economic, statistical indicators and data, but if there's a lot of houses on the market, it tends to be a buyer's market. Buyers have lots of choices, and sellers have to be more willing to negotiate to get that buyer to choose them out of the big crowd. Flip that, if it's very low inventory, sellers tend to have more leverage. That's what we call a seller's market, and buyers have to compete a bit more. So that's the simplest way to explain that it's either or. Now, there is such thing as a balanced market. It's not both buyer and seller. It's a market where buyers and sellers need to cooperate with each other. By the way, that's one of the best markets to be in, because if you're selling and buying, you can typically do okay on both sides. Now, there is a way to beat an extreme market, extreme seller's market, extreme buyer's market, and that's with a great agent, a great lender, a great strategy where you maximize the benefit of kind of what we're in now, which is still a seller's market. Not quite as extreme as it was a few years ago. You can maximize the extreme seller's market, and then you're looking for a really unique strategy to go maximize your buyer benefit because it's not a buyer's market. It is still a seller's market. So that's the shortest answer I can give you in the lightning round here.
Perfect. Another area of confusion that people have is the difference between a pre-qualification and a pre-approval. Go.
PatrickGlaros.com, PatrickGlaros.com, Glaros, PatrickGlaros.com. Patrick and his team at Cardinal Financial are our preferred lenders. Not because they bring us donuts to the office, because they don't. Not because they're stunningly good looking, although they are. But because they're great at what they do and they will help you figure this stuff out. You go online and someone says, we'll get you a pre-qual in 10 minutes and here's your rate. They don't have enough information to do that in a way that's legitimate yet. Patrick and his team will get you a pre-approval. So here's the difference. Pre-qualification says, based on what you're telling me, I should be able to, in the future, qualify you to get a loan of some kind. That's basically what that means. And if you heard the way I said that, that's basically less valuable than the paper it's written on, and it's usually not written on good paper. Pre-approval means, based on what you've told me, we have verified that with documentation and, say, a credit check and an employment check, and we've verified your debt to income ratio and things like that. I can assure you that once you find the right property, you are already approved for a loan. That is a big difference. Now, not all agents are great, but if you are on the buy side of a transaction and the selling side agent is a good or great agent, they are going to know the difference, and you are going to be in trouble. If you're competing against an offer that has a pre-approval and all you have is a pre-qualification, you are not ready to play ball yet. You are not ready to compete, and you are likely to get beat out. You might even be offering more money. But if the agent that represents the seller or the seller feels like, even though this other offer is for a lower amount, this feels like the more trustworthy, secure, solid offer that is actually going to close and fund and I'm going to get paid, they may choose that other offer over you. Or they might make you pay a significant amount more to compensate for their concern or for their delay in saying, can you get us a full pre-approval?
Is it even worth going out to look at homes if you have the pre-qual?
It's not. We would never recommend that. We would say you should not even begin to look at houses online until you've at least begun the process of a pre-approval. And the reason is because at some point when we all see beautiful, pretty houses in our budget, we turn into little kids at the checkout line at the grocery store like, ooh, sugary candy. I want it, I want it, I want it, I want it. I'm a real estate broker, and I've been doing this for almost 20 years, and it still happens to me. I'm like, ooh, look at the land on that house. That's incredible. Let's go look at it right now. We all get emotional. Buyers are emotional. Sellers are analytical. So when you get to the point of being emotionally excited, you better have been already prepared. And that's where you should reach out to Patrick Glaros and his team and get fully pre-approved before you even open the window of yourself beginning emotionally invested in a property or just in the idea of searching for property. PatrickGlaros.com. You got me fired up today, man.
Dude, it's great. Love it. All right, question that came in from one of our clients as we were trying to work through some things with them, and and help them find the right plays was that, hey, we got pre-qualified, pre-approved up to this amount. We really felt comfortable going up to this amount, but we're really not seeing what it is that we want. The overall question was, should I go ahead and look above the price range I'm comfortable in order to get a deal, to find the thing? That was the question. It's a really tricky situation to navigate.
I have a very simple answer to this. You should not spend more money on a house than you are comfortable spending. Period.
Perfect.
If there's not houses in that price range, then you should compromise on the house, not your budget. Listen, we are free, generally healthy people in America, most of us. We got a lot going for us. If you end up in a 4-bedroom and not a 5, or with all the bedrooms you need, but you don't have the extra study, or your yard's a little bit smaller, you're gonna be fine. But if you end up in your dream house and that dream house becomes a burden to you because you really can't afford it, or now you can't do other things that are really important to you, you're going to end up resenting the study or the bigger backyard anyway. And it's going to be hard to get out of. Now listen, we sell houses really fast for a lot of money. That's still not something you just decide to do one morning and it gets done. There's a process involved there and it takes time. Obviously, we sell homes and we get paid a commission based on how much people spend. So the selfish thing to say here would be, spend the money, get the home you love, and we'll figure it out later. But that's a dirtbag thing to say. That's not the right way to lead and advise and protect a client. And so my belief is, and this is how our agents talk to our buyers, I don't even need to know how much you're pre-approved for. You tell me what is a comfortable price range that you would be excited to live in a home based on, right? You might be pre-approved for $575. You might tell me, we feel pretty comfortable at $450. The payment associated with that and a home of that value. By the way, there's other costs to a home than just your mortgage payment. The things that would be required to furnish that house, heat and cool that house, the water bill for that house, those kinds of things. Once someone knows that and they say, hey, we'd be comfortable at $450, our team is then set out to, in a perfect world, find them a house at $400, even below that. The feeling that comes with telling someone, we found you everything you dreamt of way below your comfortable budget, is so much more valuable to us than the commission that would have been made on the extra $50,000 sale price or $100,000 sale price. Selfishly, because that person now trusts us and understands that we care for them and they're going to refer friends that are like that. And that's a wonderful business principle. But more so because people want to give you a hug instead of just being like, yeah, thanks, man.
Well, that's what it was like for us when we bought our house. It was the lowest end of our budget. And y'all's team did a great job for us.
By the way, when you're selling a home, that's your ideal buyer. The person who's like, oh, we can totally afford this. Let's throw an extra 15 or 20 at it so that we don't have to compete with anybody else. But if you're at the top of the budget, it's like, well, I hope we can get it. That's just a less pleasant way to go about it. So anyway, that's my thoughts.
Yep, great. Okay, last question. I think we've got time for one more. A lot of people listening, buyers and sellers, just struggling to pull the trigger, right? It kind of goes back to that state of the market thing, but what would be a couple of questions that you would suggest people ask themselves to really be able to kind of push them over the edge of saying, okay, now is the time. I don't want to rent anymore.
Right.
I'm fed up of being where I'm at. Let's go do this. What would be a couple of questions?
So you're listening to Texas Real Estate with Todd Tramonte. I'm Todd Tramonte. All day, every day, throughout the week, I run the Todd Tramonte Home Selling Team. My name's on all this stuff. So I'm going to tell you the actual answer to this question. Not the comfortable, best for the realtor answer to this question, right? Overunderagent.com if you're into that sort of thing. You should buy a home when you and your family and your finances are ready. And you should never buy a home if one of those three things is not ready. And what I mean by that is you've got the down payment that you're comfortable with. You can buy a house for 3% down, but you might only feel comfortable at 10 or 20 or 25 or 50. Whatever your personal values say, that's what you should do. When I say your family, if you're excited about moving and your husband or your wife isn't, you should work that out first. Don't try to use a house to force relational health. This is me getting way away from real estate. This is just my opinion. And then when I say your finances, I mean the down payment. What, are you prepared for the payment? Don't buy a house because you have the money just to buy it, but you might not have the money to live in it in a healthy, harmonious way, in a peaceful way, because it's going to become a burden. That's my answer every time. I'm pretty convinced that's always going to be my answer. It's never going to get more interesting or creative than that. But I really believe it's the right answer. I believe people could say, well, you should buy in winter and sell in summer. That's not true. That might be true if you and your family and your finances are ready at those times. I promise you, I can create a strategy for you during winter of the worst real estate market ever. If we're able to be a little patient and strategic, we'll create a strategy that will help you dominate. I'm not trying to be arrogant or like I know it all. I'm just telling you, in the last 18 years of doing this, I've had clients that were like, thank you so much for giving us permission to say no to that and wait. Or thank you for encouraging us to go ahead and take advantage of that opportunity, because we'd have been renting for another 4 or 5 years. We would have stayed in this house without enough bedrooms. We'd have had the baby and just stayed here for another year, and we'd have been bickering with each other because we just needed a little space, or I just needed to release those funds and not hold so tightly to them because we had them, or whatever the case is. This is where real estate agents sometimes become counselors, and I am not an attorney. I'm not licensed to do that, but we really do love, our values lean us towards wanting to be a part of those conversations where buying a house is good for your marriage or good for parenting, but it's never worth it if those things are strained or stressed by it. I hope that helped. I hope that didn't come across as arrogant or know-it-all. That's the way we are. So if that's obnoxious to you, the Todd Tramonte home selling team is probably not a fit. If that's attractive to you, we would love to get your call at the Todd Tramonte home selling team at 214-310-0008, or you can text us 214-310-0008, or find us online at overunderagent.com to find out the value of your house or when we can talk or sit down. Overunderagent.com. We'll be back with more Texas real estate next week, 3 o'clock Saturday, right here on WBAP.